So now let's get to the next part. Steve, turn around. No, don't hit the chicken. What is up, guys? Smooth here, back with another Minecraft video, and today I'm going to be doing a mod review for the Harken Mod. Now, the Harken Mod allows you to play Minecraft strictly using your voice. It was actually a mod that was developed for people that suffer from disabilities where they can't use their hands and they can't play Minecraft normally. So it allows us to basically do almost everything you can imagine strictly using your voice. So I have my face cam set up over here to show you guys that I won't be using my keyboard or my mouse. So my keyboard is right in front of my microphone over here. My mouse is right over here. You can see when I pick it up, it nudges the screen a little bit, so let's set it back into place. And I created a little obstacle course that's going to basically demonstrate a lot of the functionality this thing has. So in order to start any commands inside this mod, you're going to say Steve first, and then it's going to basically be followed by your command. So let's do a couple tests here quickly. Steve, open the menu. And again, you see I'm standing away from everything. I'm not using my keyboard or mouse. Steve, close the menu. You can see it's amazing. It's really cool. So let's get to the next stuff. Steve, start walking. Steve, start walking. There we go. All right, Steve, turn left. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Now you got to be very careful when you're actually using these commands and how you say them, because it can have an effect on like basically talking regularly the way I'm talking to you guys right now can make some commands go off. It's a little bit wonky at times. So in this section, I'm going to try to place some blocks. So Steve, turn left. Steve, turn right. Steve, stop. Okay, so now I'm going to try to select the first item and place some bricks in this little box over here. Steve, select one. Steve, use. Steve, use. Steve, use. Come on. Oh my goodness. Steve, use. Steve, use. No, don't jump. Steve, use. Steve, use. Well, this mod review is going fantastic. Steve, use. Steve, stop. Steve, use. Steve, look up. Steve, use. Steve, look down. Steve, use. Steve, start walking. Steve, jump. Steve, stop. Steve, turn right. Steve, use. There we go. So I guess I was a little bit too far away from it in the first place, but you guys can see it does work. So let's place one more up above it. Steve, look up. Steve, use. Perfect. So that was actually my mistake. All right. Steve, turn right. Steve, start walking. Steve, jump. Steve, stop. Steve, turn around. Steve, turn around. Awesome. Steve, start walking. Steve, start walking. Steve, look down. Steve, turn right. Okay, cool. Let's get to the next part. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. All right, sweet. Steve, stop. Steve, turn right. Steve, start walking. Steve, look down. Okay, I want to wait for him to go just a little bit to the side. We're gonna basically put some, try to get some chickens to spawn inside here. Steve, select two. Steve, stop. Steve, select two. Okay, so we got our eggs now. Steve, use. Oh, there we go. We got our first chicken. Let's get a couple more if possible. Steve, use. Steve, use. Steve, use. Steve, use. Steve, use. Come on. Steve, use. We're going to have a lonely chicken here, guys. Steve, use. Steve, use. Come on, one more. Steve, use. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So we got two little chickens, so we got some friends. So now let's get to the next part. Steve, turn around. No, don't hit the chicken. Steve, turn around. Steve, turn around. Okay, sweet. Steve, start walking. Steve, stop. Steve, turn left. Alright, so we're going to try to mine some of this diamond over here. Steve, start walking. Steve, start walking. Steve, turn left. Steve, turn right. Okay, so let's wait for him to nudge over a little bit until we get right on the block. Alright, great. Steve, select 3. Steve, select 3. I think I have to tell him to stop first because it's kind of like in a loop right now. Steve, stop. Steve, stop. Alright, cool. Steve, select 3. Steve, select 3. Alright, so now let's mine. Steve, mine. There we go. And he's going to keep on mining until you give him the command to stop. So let's see how much we can get out of it. Steve, look up. There we go. And you see, it will stay in a loop until you control it otherwise. So we got what we need over here. Steve, stop. We want to make sure that when we turn around, he doesn't start mining the floor. Steve, turn around. Steve, turn around. Oh, he's still mining. Steve, stop. Actually, I want to make sure that he has nothing in his hand before we continue, because this part is a little bit tricky. Steve, select 8. Steve, select 8. Steve, select 8. Steve, select 9. Alright, well, we're just going to go for it at this point. Steve, select 1. Steve, stop. Steve, listen to me. Steve, select 8. Alright, finally, we got it. Steve, start walking. Steve, look down. Alright, so we're going to try to go into this little water thing over here. Steve, turn left. Steve, turn left. Steve, turn right. Good, so now we're inside this little pool over here. Steve, turn right. Steve, turn right. Steve, turn left. So now we're going down this little waterfall. Steve, turn left. Okay, so let's go up these stairs and back down. Got a couple more jumps. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Steve, turn right. Steve, stop. Alright, so now we're going to go down below us and we're going to try to mine the dirt to get to the next part. Steve, turn around. Steve, look down. Steve, turn left. So we're actually not on the block. It's going to be a little bit tricky. Steve, start walking. Steve, turn around. Steve, stop. Steve, turn around. Steve, turn around. Alright, good. So now we're on top of some blocks. Steve, select 5. So we'll try to get the shovel. Steve, select 5. Oh, we got it. Steve, mine. Alright, great. So we got maybe enough. Let's see. I don't know if that's enough for us to go down. We might have an issue. Steve, turn right. Alright, so we got a little more. Steve, turn left. Steve, turn left. I'm going to mine this block. Steve, stop. Steve, mine. Steve, mine. I'm not sure if we're on that block or not. We're like really close. Steve, start walking. Because I think he's still in mining mode. Steve, start walking. Steve, stop. Steve, start walking. Okay. Steve, mine. Steve, mine. Okay, he's still walking a little bit. Steve, stop walking. Steve, stop. Steve, mine. Okay, so that should be enough for us. I don't think we need to get any more. We could probably squeeze in there now. Steve, stop. Steve, start walking. Steve, turn left. Alright, perfect. Steve, look up. Actually, I don't think we need to. Steve, turn left. Steve, turn left. Steve, stop. Okay, so right now we're inside of a portal, so we're going to try to go to the Nether. So, I mean, this is kind of ambitious, but it's actually working out really well. I haven't touched my keyboard or mouse yet. Steve, turn left. Steve, select 7. Oops. Steve, stop. Steve, stop. Okay, that was weird. Let me see. What item is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Steve, select 6. All right. Steve, use. Steve, use. Okay, so we are now about to head into the Nether. So let's wait for a second. And I can't believe we actually just made it. Steve, start walking. Steve, start walking. Good. Steve, look up. Steve, look up. Steve, turn right. This is really up. This is amazing. I can't. I mean, I set this up so this would be possible, but this is actually pretty impressive. In my trial runs, I actually couldn't get a successful run completely without nudging my mouse at all. So this is a good run. That was a very delayed reaction. Steve, turn right. Okay. Steve, turn left. And we're actually going to go into another fortress over there. Steve, turn right. Steve, jump. Oh, so we got a zombie pigman in our way, so this could be an issue if he blocks us, but I think we're going to be out of his way. Steve, jump. Steve, look up. Steve, jump. Got a couple more obstacles. Okay, we got one more. Steve, jump. Steve, jump. Okay, there we go. So we're about to approach this Nether fortress, and we'll see what we got inside. Steve, turn right. Steve, stop. Okay, so we're at some chests over here. Steve, select 9. Want to make sure he has an empty hand. Steve, select 9. Steve, use. We might be right in between the chests. Steve, use. Steve, turn right. Steve, start walking. Steve, stop. Steve, turn left. Steve, use. And just like that, we made it inside of a chest. So we got all the way to the Nether. We planted some blocks. We mined a little bit. Got another portal up and running, and we got over here. So now the item that's actually in this chest is going to be the next part of the mod review, and this is, I'm going to grab my mouse now, because this mod is not capable of selecting items just yet. It's a little bit too specific, but this is called the Harkin Glasses. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how this works in the next part of the mod, and yeah, it's going to be something a little bit different. The functionality is a little bit limited, but I'm going to explain that in just a second, so give me a second, guys. Alright guys, so I'm back at the beginning of the obstacle course. I'm using my mouse and my keyboard again, but I'm still going to be using voice commands, and I actually have the Harkin Glasses back in my hand. The one I showed you is actually a part of them. They're part of the crafting recipe, but I'm going to equip these, and I'm going to show you what they do. They basically allow you to talk to Herobrine, and you can see they look pretty cool. They're pretty funky, and
ID10T error. Please repeat.
And you can hear, the voice that you just heard was actually Herobrine talking to us. So just by, instead of saying Steve, you would say Herobrine first, and then you would say the command. So I guess he heard me say his name, and then a command that sounded like it. Now, to be honest, this part is actually the one that struggles with functionality the most. I'm going to put all the commands for the Steve commands as well as the Herobrine commands in the description, because this part is not phenomenal. You can see right there, I just thought that I told to look down. So when I was testing this out, it would basically sometimes take up to a minute to 2 minutes for it to actually work. So like I could say a command, and then 2 minutes later, Herobrine would say whatever he needs to say. So I have a list right over here on my other monitor, and I'm gonna read them all out to you, and you guys can basically, hopefully we can try to see if he pulls off any of these. Herobrine, what is...
Failed on that request.
Failed on that request. All right. Herobrine, what is the weather like?
What was that dreadful sound? Try
What?
again.
Herobrine, what is the weather like? Herobrine, what is the weather like? Okay, that one is not working. Herobrine, where am I?
Minus and.
I think he said minus end, which I'm not sure what that means. Let me check my coordinates. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means, but he said something. Let's see. Herobrine, what are my coordinates? Herobrine, what are my coordinates? Okay, that one doesn't look like it's working. Herobrine, what is my location?
minus,
And again, he said the same thing, so I'm not sure what that means. Herobrine, actually, I gotta change it to F5 mode. So let me put this pickaxe on. Herobrine, can I mine this? Herobrine, can I mine this? I definitely got this one to work before. Let's try it. Let's move it over to some glowstone. Herobrine. Whoa. I didn't even realize you could strafe right. Apparently I said a command that I didn't even know about. Steve, stop. Okay, let's try that again. That was weird. That was interesting. What's going on? It's getting really funky right now. Steve, stop. Steve, stop. Steve is being disobedient. Oh. And now he just thought I told him to mine. Oh my goodness, it's getting all crazy. Steve, stop. Okay. Herobrine, can I mine this? Herobrine, can I mine this? Okay, that one's not working. Herobrine, what time is it? Herobrine, what time is it? Okay, so let's get to the next command. We got two more to test out. So let's look over there. Herobrine, is it day? And Steve just switched to an egg. Herobrine, is it night? Herobrine, where am I? Anyway, you guys can see it's a little bit wonky on this part, and every once in a while, just talking regularly will cause some random issues to occur. But as you can see, we did get through this entire little obstacle course that I made. We got to put some blocks down over here. We put some chickens down over there. We made some friends, mined some blocks over there, got through a couple other obstacles, and got through the Nether. So the mod is very capable. It's still in development. I think the most recent update actually came on November 4th of this year, and it's been in development for over a year. So it is an ongoing process, and hopefully we can see this develop into something that's really amazing that a lot of people can end up using. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. Share it if you thought it was interesting or possibly helpful to you. Like it and favorite it if you would like to, because it does help me quite a bit. And subscribe if you're new to the channel, because I like to do mod reviews like this on a regular basis, and I try to find some cool stuff for you guys to watch. Anyway, guys, this was Smooth, and I'll see you guys all soon.